Welcome to another edition of Cleaning Business TV. I'm David Luke, Vice President of Two Maids and a Mop, and with me as always is
Ron Holt, CEO and founder of Two Maids and a Mop.
Last week we gave you an insight into our annual retreat, and hopefully you enjoyed it as it was a great talk on leadership. This week we're going to be giving you another talk, another excerpt from one of our talks, and it's on employee motivation, and it was very beneficial for us, and hopefully it's going to be beneficial for you. Tell us a little bit more about the speaker.
Liz Trotter is a well-known cleaning industry expert, well-known speaker. She travels the country talking about everything that has anything to do with the cleaning industry. So for us, we really wanted for her to focus on employee motivation, and we've ourselves talked about those things here on Cleaning Business TV.
Right.
But Liz brings a different insight and a different vantage. So we're going to take you directly to Liz's presentations, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Hopefully.
Anybody here heard of Hertzbergs motivational theory? Yes, Deb again. Well, the leadership major over here, right? So yeah, all right, excellent. All right, so I'm not going to go over everything having to do with this theory. Obviously, it's too much. It wouldn't be this huge theory that's lasted for all of these years. But some of the things I just want to point out real quick is Hertzberg theory says that just because something is a demotivator doesn't mean that if you flip it and do the opposite of it, I'm going to use pay as an example. Let's say pay can be a demotivator. So you have low pay, which you guys know this in your operation, right? If you have low pay, that can be a demotivator. But it doesn't automatically mean that if you increase the pay, that it'll be a motivator. That's not how it works. The things that motivate people are not the same things that demotivate people. You guys are the leaders of your companies, and I'm going to trust you not to do these. I already know you don't do this. I already know you got a plan for that. I'm going to trust y'all to work on how to not demotivate people, and I'm going to help you a little bit today with how to motivate people. And the reason why we're worrying about motivating people is if you don't have people that are motivated to do a good job and to want to do what you want them to do, you're not going to have a strong team. You're going to have people off in different directions doing their own thing, right? Make sense? So I'm going to talk about some of the motivators. We're not going to talk about it all, but we're going to talk about a few of them. First one is responsibility. Responsibility is a motivator. That means that if people feel like they have responsibility, or they feel like they've been given responsibility, or they even feel responsible for what they're doing, they feel motivated. Think about this in your own life. As business owners, don't you feel more motivated to do a great job than you did when you were working for somebody else? If you did? Yeah? Nobody did? Really? Okay, never mind. Closing my laptop and going home. Okay, so of course, when you are having the responsibility, then you actually feel more motivated to do a good job. It's on you. Same thing with your people. To give them responsibility, how do you do that? Look for strengths. What do they do well? Find what they do well and help them to do more of it. Give them avenues to do more of whatever it is that they do really, really well. How are they going to feel? Better or worse? Better. If people feel better, are they going to be more into team building or less? Oh, much less. Of course, obviously. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? The question even sounds stupid. It's so obvious. So do that. Learn their passions. You heard Deb talk about passions. You also heard Sharon talk about passion. So important, because what people feel passionate about automatically drives them in the direction that they're going. If you can take their passion and channel it to go in the direction you want them to go, whoa, wow, right? Perfect. So learn their passions and figure out how you can use that in your businesses, your companies, to move them forward. Next thing, move them into new positions. I don't know what that is in your company. You guys got to figure out all this stuff. I'm just giving you the tools, right? I can tell you to move them into new positions, and I can tell you exactly which position, but you guys have to figure it out, because, secret, when people figure out their own answers, they like them better, and they'll do them. If your people figure out their own answers, they'll like them better, and they'll do them. So along Sharon's lines, you guys want your people to wear aprons, right? And she's giving you all these tools. Another one is help them to figure out why they like them. Help them to figure out all of those things that Sharon's told you about. Help them to figure that out, because then they'll want to wear the aprons. If they want to wear the aprons, are they going to wear them? Yeah, duh. Of course. Next thing, mentors. Have them be mentors. If people are mentoring other people, they feel responsible for that person. They feel responsible to give them the best information. When someone is a mentor, do you think they just give them whatever information comes along? If somebody's a mentor, are they going to tell them to wear the apron? Yeah? Yes or no? Yeah, totally, right? Because that's their job. They feel responsible. They feel like they got to give the best information, not the worst. They're not going to phone it in. They feel responsible. Same thing, committees. Have them have committees. They feel responsible for something, they're going to feel better. Last but not least, expect more, not less. Always, Deb alluded to the same exact thing, always be expecting more from your people, not less. Easy to fall into this trap of, yeah, but these people don't show up for work. They say they're going to come and then they don't. They call in at the last minute. They say they're going to do their job and they don't. They tell me they did it and I go and I check their work and they obviously didn't. Whatever, right? We got all these stories where we're expecting less from people. Like, that's just where we get stuck. I'm saying, even when you get stuck there, take a deep breath. Okay, how can I expect more? How can you expect more? Figure that out. How can you expect more from them in the area of responsibility? All right, an activity that you can use, because I do love my activities, something that you can do to encourage responsibility in your companies. I like to give you at least one thing to go home with. I want you guys to figure it out, but here's at least one idea to get your brain going in the right direction. Create volunteer opportunities where the employees are responsible for the outcome. So an example might be, you guys are all into cleaning for a reason. You all love cleaning for a reason. What volunteer opportunities can you guys come up with around cleaning for a reason that they can take ownership of, that they can be responsible for, that they can feel good about? Have them come up with the idea. You can lead them. You can maybe give them a couple of ideas, but don't pick. Let them pick. Okay, next thing is the work itself. So you're thinking, the work itself? Really? How is the work itself a motivator? We're cleaning toilets. How is that supposed to be a motivator? Well, you got to figure that out. You got to know the answer to that. You guys are all motivated by the work itself. You guys all see that cleaning is something great. It means something to you, right? It means something, and that's why you're doing it. They got to do it too. Ask these questions. How is it necessary? Ask those questions of your people. You've been asking these questions of yourself already. How is it necessary? What's its value? What's the value? What is its value? Where's the value coming from? Who appreciates it? When you go out and clean, who appreciates it? Is it just working moms with 3 kids? Is it? No. How about their husbands who don't want to listen to the wives on the weekend? I can't ever go anywhere. I got to stay home and clean house. You guys always have a good time. Husbands love us, right? They love us. How about pet owners? I mean, there's a ton of people that appreciate cleaning. Everybody here, you heard both of the speakers that were up here saying how much they love having their house cleaned, having somebody else clean it. Sharon's like, waits for them to come and get the training people in to clean her house, right? Who appreciates it? Ask the question. Why do we do it? This is a really good question. Ask your people, why do you do it? What's good about it? How does it make you feel? Bring that passion in, right? And then again, expect more, not less. When you are, and you guys already do this, your whole model is set up this way. You expect more from your people, and they typically give you more. Their pay is tied directly to it. You can tell really easily, right? And the more you're expecting, they will perform better for you in the work itself. All right, the activity. Oh, I was just gonna skip right over that. Maybe I'm feeling in a hurry there. Supplemental training focused on the technical aspects of the job, or what else? What else could it be? So maybe there's some other kind of training that you could give them about the work. There are lots of different training programs out there. What can you give them that makes them feel better about the actual cleaning that they do, so that they don't get stuck in this idea of just a maid, so that they don't go home and their parents or their husbands or their wives say something like, really, how long are you going to be at that cleaning job? So that they have something that shores them up. It's not just cleaning, you guys, right? Does that make sense? Okay. Achievement, another motivator. 2 maids and a mop model, duh, right? Obviously, you get a feeling of achievement from your model. It's set up perfectly. I have been a huge fan. I was talking to you guys, Liz and Sherry and Sherry and yeah. Over here, I was talking to you guys earlier about how much I love this model, and I have for about 10 years, back in the day when you first came out with it, Ron. And back then, you guys will probably have heard the story, the model was whatever the client wants to pay, whatever they think it's worth, that's what they pay. And at the time, you're chuckling, hey, talk to the man over there. But you know what? It didn't last long, but it was a great idea. Why was it a great idea? Because it spawned the idea that you guys go with today. The model that you have today was spawned from that, correct, Ron? It was directly spawned from that idea. Sometimes your idea might not be great right off the bat, but it morphs into something great, which it did in this case. Perfect for achievement. People get that feeling of achievement from your model. It's perfect. Get a strong vision with measurements. Again, your company is known for having a strong vision, that you guys know exactly what you want, where you're going, and you measure it and you know where you're going. Give that to the people. Do the people see that? Do the people know what your vision is? You guys come, you do all this stuff. Are you passing that information on? If you are, yay for you. Good job. If you're not, start. Come on. Pass that information on. Give them the same thing that you get. Because when you leave here, how are you all going to feel? Awesome, motivated, ready to take on the world, right? Yeah? You might feel overwhelmed too, but on top of that, you're going to feel really motivated and ready. So give that to your people. Give them that same stuff. And make sure that they're in the right roles. So if you want people to achieve, they need to be in roles that they can succeed in. If they can't, they're not going to get this feeling of achievement. And so it's just a downer, all right? Don't do it. All right, and again, expect more, not less. I say it all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it. Get ready for it on every single slide. All right, expect more, not less, because if you expect more, what? Thank you. Oh gosh, I'm getting through. I'm getting through. Who was it? I think it was Deb that said, if you think you're over communicating, say it one more time. There we go. Get ready. Right? It's coming. It's coming. Okay, here's an activity for achievement. Job shadowing has the benefit of making both parties feel as though they have either achieved something of value or they're about to. So job sharing is a way of everybody feeling better. The person whose job is being shared and the person who is job sharing. I don't know what that looks like in your company. I have no idea. You guys know your company. Is it somebody that only cleans kitchens? Maybe give them, and I'm going totally against Sharon. Sharon, don't beat me later, please, promise. Just a chance to share the job to see what it's like to clean bathrooms. Or maybe somebody could come in for a day and work in the office or see what the scheduling is like, because we all know scheduling is not the cushy job that everybody thinks it is. Over here we got some heavy heads shaking over here. So how can you do job sharing? Maybe you can't. Maybe you don't want to.
It'll make the other person appreciate more what you're doing.
Totally. And that's the both sides, right? Everybody, right? Team building, exactly.
Maybe we need to come work with you, Susan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, please do. I need all the help I can get, I'm sure. That part is never as fun, yeah.
And it's been an eye-opener visiting their offices too, to see how many plates they're trying to keep spinning.
It goes both ways. It really does. And you get a new appreciation for what the other person is doing again, too. All right, advancement. Now, this slide is about the growth ladder. Having a growth ladder in your company. Some way for people to grow. somewhere that they're growing into, some way that they're growing. You're going to have to figure that out. Most of the time, people think they want to have a growth ladder that is just tied to pay, but you can tie it to pay, time, responsibility, position or title, education. What else? What else can you have your growth ladder tied to? Maybe in your company, at the 3-month mark, you get this level of education. At the 6-month mark, you get this new thing. At the 12-month mark, you get this new thing. At the 18 months, you get this new thing. Could be. Maybe they get a new responsibility. Maybe at the 12-month mark, you're now allowed to have, don't you beat me for this one, Ron. Gosh, I'm making enemies up here right and left. At the 12-month mark, maybe you can have razor blades. Just saying. Maybe. So have some type of a growth ladder in your company. It doesn't have to be big and hard and hairy and scary. It can be all those things, but it doesn't have to be. Just get something so they have some place to go, so they can see that there's more for them than just cleaning toilets, right? All right, activity. Have a company book club. Any of you guys have book clubs? Get one. Aw, book clubs are fun. I love book clubs. And have one that's specifically focused on advancement. So the whole point of it is you read these 3 books and you get to this level. Maybe you are now the purple level. Purple level. You read these other next 2 books and now you're up to the orange level, right? I'm thinking of Taekwondo right now. I'm a red belt in Taekwondo, and so you have to go through these levels. You have to, first start out with a little yellow belt or a white belt, and then you go up to a yellow belt. So you can do the same thing, right? Have a book club. Because what happens to your company when they read the books that you want them to read?
They're answering their own questions and getting their own answers,
Right.
and they're liking it more.
Yes.
And they're more empowered.
Yes. So give them books that you want them to read, right? Get them books that you want them to read that will help them to be a better team. Things that you love and that you know support your vision, the things that you care about in your company. Don't forget to expect more and not less, just in case you might have forgotten that. Expecting more, not less. Okay. And let's see, the last slide I have here as far as motivators is recognition. And recognition, we talk a lot about recognition. It's a huge motivator. I find that recognition doesn't get done well a lot of the time. And if you are going to be recognizing people, any recognition is better than none. So even bad recognition is better than none. We know this from all of the movie stars, right? Lindsay Lohan's in rehab again and again and again and again and again. Or whoever, right? Even bad recognition is good recognition. But good recognition is even better. So some of the ways that you want to have recognition is it needs to be specific. So this simple little thing of you did an excellent job cleaning the faucets at Mrs. Johnson's house, the way you got behind them instead of just giving them a quick run through means more to somebody than great job in Johnson's bathroom. Right? Easy, specific. Say specifically, and you almost can't drill down enough. I mean, the way you took your brush out and went from left to right on the back and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. To you, it might sound like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. They're kind of like, no, they love it. You know what they do? They go home and they say, honey, you're not going to believe it. But guess what? Guess what Sherry said to me today? She said that I did an excellent job when I cleaned the faucets and I used my brush, and she even noticed that I went left to right. Because they remember the little specific things that you do. That speaks to their heart. It's like you were really paying attention, like you really cared, like you really noticed, like you really did appreciate it. You really did see it. You noticed what they did, right? Okay, immediate. Now, it doesn't have to be immediate, but immediate is good. If you tell somebody what they do in the moment, it doesn't mean that you can't ever mention it again later. So a lot of times people say things to me like, well, I didn't want to recognize her for that because we're having a big award ceremony in a month and she's getting a big recognition for it then. Yeah, because people always complain about getting recognized too much. Dude, she already told me that last month. Doesn't happen. Give it to them then, right then, the minute you notice it. And you know what? In front of everybody else. In front of everybody else. If I say, you know what? Today I was talking to Jamie, and she had a really great idea. She was jumping off of the other lady's presentations, and we actually were joking around with her. She was talking about credibility, that she should have her own little presentation. Talking about it, about her talking about that, makes her feel just a little bit better. Like, oh, that was a good idea. I don't have to say anything to Jamie about that being a good idea. All I have to do is talk to y'all. Jamie, I always run in front of that, sorry. All I have to do is say, oh, you know what, you guys should talk to Jamie. She was talking to me about credibility, and I thought she made some really great points. So we can't talk about it now, but talk to her about it later. We hit a lot of those motivators that I just have been talking about, right? She now feels very responsible. She's going to be watching out for credibility in your team, right? She's going to be paying attention because you mentioned her. All right, make it frequent. Again, nobody ever complains that they're getting recognized too much or too often. Oh my gosh, 3 times in one house. I hate this job. No, more. More is better. Now, I don't think it's up here. It isn't up here. Ooh, good. You guys write this down. Anybody that's taking notes or you're going to look at this later, write this down because it has to be sincere. It can't be false. It can't be fluffied up. If you fluffy it up, you make it more than it really is, it'll fall flat. Not only will it fall flat, but you'll lose credibility. And they won't trust you. So make sure that it's true. But give it to them a lot, often. Planned and unplanned. Have a plan. If you know that you're not the kind of person that it naturally recognizes people, there's a lot of us that aren't. It doesn't even feel comfortable. Anybody in this room doesn't really feel comfortable doing a lot of recognition? Yeah? You don't feel comfortable. And some of you have less of it than others. Make a plan for it then. In your case, put it on your calendar. I'm going to recognize so-and-so today. I'm just going to find one thing. Have a plan for it. Because if you plan it, it'll happen. And it needs to happen. Unplanned is great. People love unplanned recognition. Happens in the moment, you say it, you show it. But if you know somebody has certain, I want to say proclivities, and that's not the right word. That wasn't the right word at all. But if you know that somebody has certain strengths, let's say, and you know that they're really good at something, if that's part of your plan to recognize them, you can be watching for when they do that thing and jump on it. Right? Let's say that we're talking about Sharon's thing. You want people to be wearing aprons. Start recognizing them every time you walk in. So, ooh, apron, awesome. Yay, Jamie, awesome. Yeah, awesome. Oh, I love that. You guys, oh, look at all the aprons. Woohoo! Love you guys. Great job. Now that's my personality. I'm not picturing you go, woohoo, yeah.
Monday morning.
Me, yes, yeah, woohoo. That's it, Monday morning. I'm getting on my strap shirt and I'm jumping, right? But whatever it is for you. It can be anything for you. You might just say, and if your style is very calm and very reserved, when you walk up to somebody and you say, you know what, I noticed you're wearing your apron. Thanks so much. Did you hear that? Did you hear? She told me. She noticed I was wearing my apron. I feel so good. No, seriously. Whatever your style is, that's what you need to do. Do more of that.
So welcome back, Liz. Thanks so much for that amazing presentation. Hopefully all you out there in the internet world learned as much as we did. It was an exciting talk. We're going to do it again next year and bring all these exciting speakers back, hopefully. And so thanks again, and we'll see you again next week.
See ya.